The Mako, and last I left off, I needed to finish shading basically one side of the nacelle here, and I did that last night. I got the one side here of the nacelle all shaded, got the pylon, the nacelle, a little bit on the bottom. Basically been going around, took some, basically shading it with medium gray, gunship gray by MIG, and basically going in and shading some of the, I call it rough edges here, the nacelle caps, getting them a darker gray. I got to go back in and do a little bit more, but shading is just about done. And when I say shading, that's basically the panel lines and all that. I'm going to go back in with basically a little bit of a silver gray, just a little bit, very, very faint, and I want to go in and do each, not each square, but I'm going to do some random squares just to break up the whole pattern and just give it a little bit of, not an Aztec pattern, but, you know, just to break up the whole, give it a little definition, is the way I call it, and I'll be pretty much satisfied with that. But all the shading should be done, and then I'll go back in. I got to go in and scrape off the windows, get them all so light will shine through. And then I was playing around. I'm probably going to do first, I had to shoot some future on, because number one, I wanted to be able to where I could wipe it off. I actually took some acrylic paint, put in there, and wiped it off. You can see where it's smeared. I just did it. I'm going to clean that off. I want to probably go back in with some Tamiya's little panel line accent and just kind of build it up, and do the same thing with the NX. I want it dark, but I want it kind of worn in a way, you know, like it has been used, is what I'm trying. But anyway, I shot future on places where the decals go, especially here to get the wipe away action, and then of course the nacelles where the pennant goes. And it does say Franklin on the pennant. I'm going to cut all that off and just make a generic Mako pennant, you know, for the nacelle. But anyway, Mako is taking shape. The Camaro, I am done with it. It's a very, very simple build. I went in with red pinstripe, and I went all the way around the car body here. I assume that it actually fits on the front edge there, but I went ahead and, since there's no front view, I went ahead and did it that way. I assume it's that. I got the vents painted black, as I was told to do. The lights in there. Bottom of the car, the 9-volt fits through here. If it ever goes out, you'll have to take these two screws off, pull this off, change the 9-volt, put it back in. You may have to put the wires, shove them back in, and screw them back down, and you're good to go. There's your push button. All you gotta do is push it once, and you got your little, I call it the party light. I know it's supposed to be like a car light, but it was in there in the picture, and it does work. So I'm gonna take some pretty pictures of this and put that on social media, so you'll be able to see more of it. And then basically I'm going to get this off the workbench and get it to its rightful owner. And then again, if you need to turn it off, just press the button again, and you are good to go. Anyway, that's a very quick build. I mean, I didn't have to do much, very little painting, a little bit of pinstripe, and I mean, it's just it was just a fun build. Very simple, you know, making a car that someone drove, you know, just a unique thing to do in the model world. But anyway, 87 Camaro is done. The Bomarc, and last I left off on that, I got base pretty much done. I went back in and painted black. Now it's hard to see from the gray platform, but there is black on there. It's very, very subtle, and I did it basically with transparent, a little bit of transparent paint. It gives it more of a darker sheen and looks more, I call it blast effect, you know, just gives it a little more realistic. I went back in and shaded the Bomarc itself. I wanted a little bit of, I know it's supposed to be white, but it just needed a little bit of panel lines. I want to go back in with a little more silver gray, tone it down just one more time, and I'll be good to go on that. But I did went ahead and I sealed everything with Future. I sealed the rocket where the decals are going to go, and I went ahead and did Future on the base where the decals go, whereas number 11, 7, 13, 6, 12, and of course 14. You know, we'll try to get all the decals on. I'm going to start that hopefully tomorrow, and we'll start doing the base and get the Bomarc decal and try to finish it by the weekends, what I'm hoping. But anyway, Bomarc's take shape. I think I like to give a little panel lining to the vehicle. I think it gives it a little more character, and to me it looks more realistic than just you know, it ain't really weathered, just you know, just gives it a little more character. I think, like, makes it look pretty darn slick. But anyway, that is where I stand on the Bomarc. So anyway, that's what I've got going on today. We are getting ready to start decaling the Bomarc. We have finished the 87 Camaro, which was a very fun and quick build with the good old-fashioned party light. And we're giving love again to the Mako. So that's what I got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.